How did Canada survive Trump's 2025 trade war? When former President Donald Trump re-emerged onto the world stage in 2025, his aggressive return to economic nationalism sparked a global stir. In one of his boldest moves, he reintroduced a severe tariff policy, targeting key trading partners, including Canada. These new tariffs hit hard, slapping taxes on Canadian aluminum, lumber, auto parts, and agricultural products. Many feared that Canada's export-driven economy would stumble under the pressure. The U.S. had long been Canada's largest trade partner, and this sudden rift threatened thousands of jobs, supply chains, and GDP growth. But Canada did not collapse. Instead, it pivoted. In a powerful display of diplomacy and economic resilience, Canada sought help elsewhere, and 10 nations stepped up. These countries not only increased their imports of Canadian goods, but also invested in Canada's infrastructure, signed new trade agreements, and offered vital diplomatic support in global forums. Who were these nations? How did they help Canada bounce back and even thrive in the wake of Trump's tariff war? Let's explore the 10 countries that stood by Canada's side and helped it survive one of the most challenging economic battles of the decade. Number 1. Germany. Germany, Canada's strongest ally in Europe. After the tariffs hit, Germany acted quickly. As Europe's economic powerhouse, Germany welcomed Canadian automotive parts, machinery, and even lumber. Once bound for the USA, the two countries fast-tracked trade cooperation through the Canada-EU Comprehensive Economic and Trade Agreement, CETA. German companies also invested in Canada's clean energy and AI sectors, offsetting economic damage from USA restrictions. Berlin also stood up for Canada at the World Trade Organization, opposing USA unilateralism. Subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into global power shifts. Number 2. Japan. Strategic economic partnership strengthened. Japan, already a trusted Canadian partner through the Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership, CPTPP, stepped in to boost imports of Canadian beef, soy, and seafood. It also became a key market for Canadian liquefied natural gas, LNG, helping Canada's energy sector stabilize. Japanese firms, such as Toyota and Panasonic, increased operations in Ontario and British Columbia, bringing in jobs and investment. Number 3. India, an emerging trade giant offering new markets. With a population of over 1.4 billion and a growing middle class, India became a vital partner in Canada's economic pivot. The two nations negotiated expedited trade agreements in agriculture and pharmaceuticals. Canada saw a 60% increase in lentil exports to India in 2025 alone. Moreover, Canadian universities formed deeper ties with Indian institutions, boosting education services and research collaborations. Number 4. United Kingdom. Post-Brexit trade boost. The UK, in search of new trade partners post-Brexit, quickly deepened ties with Canada through the UK-Canada Free Trade Continuity Agreement. Britain ramped up imports of Canadian agricultural products like maple syrup, wine, and beef. In return, British companies invested in Canada's fintech and renewable energy industries. As two Commonwealth nations, the UK and Canada used their shared legal and political frameworks to quickly bypass the friction caused by USA tariffs. Number 5. South Korea. High-tech and clean energy collaboration. South Korea became an essential technology partner. The two countries expanded joint ventures in green tech, electric vehicles, and AI development. South Korean demand for Canadian battery minerals like cobalt and lithium surged. In return, Canada gained access to Korean semiconductor technology. This mutually beneficial relationship boosted jobs in both nations while reducing Canada's dependence on USA tech components. Don't forget to hit the like button if you're impressed by Canada's global trade moves. Number 6. France. Cultural and agricultural trade expansion. France extended both symbolic and practical support. As a fellow French-speaking nation, Quebec deepened cultural and economic ties with Paris. Canada began exporting more wine, dairy, and luxury food products to France, while French agricultural technologies found new markets in Canada. French President Elodie Laurent voiced strong support for Canada at G7 and WTO meetings, calling Trump's tariffs reckless and destabilizing. France also sent key investment in green infrastructure, helping Canada meet its climate goals while boosting its economy. Number 7. China. A complex but profitable partnership. Despite past tensions, China and Canada found common ground after the U.S. tariff war. China lifted previously imposed bans on Canadian canola, pork, and seafood. Chinese companies invested heavily in Canadian real estate, tech startups, and energy projects. While the relationship remained complex due to human rights concerns and cybersecurity issues, pragmatism prevailed. China became Canada's second-largest trading partner in 2025, after the USA helping cushion the blow of Trump's policies. Number 8. Australia. Pacific Brotherhood and natural resource trade. Australia and Canada share many economic similarities. Both are resource-rich, democratic, and members of the Commonwealth. In 2025, they increased bilateral trade, particularly in education services, agriculture, and minerals. Canadian universities saw a rise in Australian students, and mining technology exports surged. The two nations also formed a joint Pacific supply chain alliance, reducing their reliance on U.S.-controlled logistics. Subscribe now if you're inspired by global cooperation over confrontation. Number 9. Mexico. North American solidarity reforged. Interestingly, Mexico, also targeted by Trump's new tariff regime, joined forces with Canada to strengthen economic ties. The two countries coordinated under the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, USMCA, to form a joint response. Mexico increased imports of Canadian dairy, beef, and lumber, while offering more favorable terms for Canadian companies operating in Mexican free trade zones. Number 10. Brazil. Agricultural trade and emerging market access. Brazil proved an unexpected but powerful ally. As the largest economy in South America, Brazil offered new markets for Canadian wheat, agricultural machinery, and renewable tech. In return, Canada imported ethanol and iron ore. The two countries launched a bilateral agro-tech exchange program in 2025, which fostered innovation in sustainable farming. Brazilian banks also partnered with Canadian fintech firms to expand into Latin America. Canada's resilience was global, not local. Trump's tariff war could have shattered Canada's economy, but it didn't. Thanks to a quick pivot and powerful diplomatic strategy, Canada diversified its trade and strengthened global alliances. These 10 nations not only filled the gaps left by a hostile U.S. trade policy, but they also opened new avenues for long-term growth and innovation. This situation taught the world a powerful lesson. Economic survival isn't about relying on one neighbor. It's about building bridges worldwide. Canada's 2025 comeback proves that resilience, diplomacy, and strategic partnerships can overcome even the harshest economic storms. Which of these countries surprised you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you haven't already, subscribe for more global stories that matter.